According to the Washington Post, millions of families are at risk of eviction. Countless thousands of others have had to file bankruptcies or endure foreclosures. I've been poring through newspapers ever since May of 2021 in hopes of finding word of programs that can help me. My searches have been unsuccessful because story after story, article after article have for the most part told a one-sided account. $46 billion worth of programs have risen to be the champion of certain people affected by this crisis. The Tenant. I have rarely found anything in mainstream media that conveyed my side of the story. I am the small landlord. I haven't received rent for my property since March of 2020. The newspapers say it's because of the pandemic. I say it's due to a select group of people who have chosen to use what is happening in the world to get over on people like me. This is my story. Hey y'all, it is September 7th, so it is the day before the physical eviction. How do I feel? I feel fine, right? For the most part. But I do feel a little like, I don't know what the word is. Anxious is too strong of a word. I just feel like I have my fingers and heart crossed that all the moving components that are necessary show up for the job. That's what I feel. I ordered some cameras, the hidden cameras. They actually look like pens, like this. And then the camera is like up in this part of the pen. I'll show y'all. But I ordered that just in case because I want to film. I want to get first reactions of things. But I'm not sure how the sheriff may feel about a camera being out. So we got a camera. So we'll get some footage of some sort. And I ordered 4 cameras, right? 3 of them are not here yet. And when I ordered the 3 and I saw the delivery date off of Amazon, the delivery date said the 8th, which is tomorrow, the day of the eviction. I was like, oh, that is pushing it. And I know Amazon is usually known for meeting their delivery. They usually go above and beyond their delivery date. So even when they give you a date, they normally get the product there like a day or 2 before what they promise. So I went back in and I ordered another camera that had a closer delivery window, and I already received that one. So I got the one. The issue is with the reviews. The reviews said that sometimes a camera may show up not working, but the reviews were fine because they said it's fine. All you do is reach back out to the company and they will send you another one. So when I saw that review, I said, hey, let me order more than one just in case. So far I got the one. I haven't checked it out to see if it works yet, which I actually need to do because I need to know how this thing works before getting there, right? So yeah, so that's what that is. Tonight, my family comes in. It's going to be my 2 sisters, so Lashana and Letitia. It's going to be my mother and my grandmother. Because y'all know my family run deep. They roll deep. They've been having my back. Obviously since I was born, since birth. But y'all, I remember one time, and I guess that we can talk about that later with my family. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But yo, they roll deep. They are so supportive. They make it happen. They make it happen. And to make this happen, because only my other sister, she's not cleared to drive because she had back surgery. And actually she may be cleared, but I'm not even sure. I think what it is she was supposed to have a doctor's appointment, a physical, to have her cleared to drive. But yeah, but they made it happen. Today actually is the first day of school for the kids. And so that's why they're coming tonight, so that they can see the kids' first day of school. And then they're still going to jump on the road to be here to support me during this thing. Now, my son, he was going to come down too. Him and some of the male cousins to help and support. However, they done went and exposed themselves to COVID. So yeah, and we're like, and though my son is fully vaccinated, and though they're not feeling any symptoms or anything, I'm like, like we can't take that chance, because the people that they have been exposed to, they have popped up hot, they popped up positive, and other people who have been around them have since been popping up positive, like in the subsequent days after that. So I'm like, yeah, we can't play them games, especially with my mother and, you know, all of them coming. Yeah, it's not worth possibly exposing people. So it looks like it's gonna be the ladies again. Jay couldn't come down because, again, this was last week we got this notice, and he is a supervisor at work, and this is the week, last week, you know, he has all his evaluations due. So he's been working super hard to get all of his employee evals done, meet with everybody. Y'all know how that process go. You got to fill out all the papers first and tell all of the remarks and all the reviews and all the comments and all of the different categories about your team. And then you have to meet with your team one by one and let them know what's what. And so he's been really, he's been a little stressed doing that even before we got this date. So he was trying to push and make it happen. But it's just like, look, I feel one thing is for certain in life. There is no need to be worried when you ain't got to be worried, because there's going to come a day in life where life is going to give you all the worry you need and you can't even do nothing about. So these things we can control. So while we can control them, there's no need to worry about them. I'm going to be okay. I'm a big girl. We got, like I said, we got the homies, aka my mama and them, rolling through. And, you know, the sheriff is going to be there. The other thing that I'm just like, about is the fact that I did hire a company to handle the eviction, to provide the physical labor, the team. He's providing a 15-man crew to move everything out, the locksmith and all of that. I'm worried because I hired him verbally and through text message, right? And I thought that his company would have sent me some sort of a confirmation, like email confirmation. I gave him my email address, though he didn't ask. And I was like, okay, so maybe they'll send me the paperwork. And then I was thinking that he'll at least tell me, okay, pay me half now or pay me whatever. He hasn't. And I reached back out to say, just want to confirm that we're good for this date, and discuss payment. And he just texts me back with confirmed. So that kind of has me, because, you know, I don't know. This is my first time going through this. I'm like, if they don't show up, then what? So one of my things on my list for today is to call the sheriff department, because this is a company that the sheriff department recommended. So I'm going to call them today, because they done seen it all under the sun, just to get some warm and fuzzy. I'm going to say, hey, I hired this company. I'm going to let them know who I hired. And they said they're going to be there, but I haven't received anything. And I'm like, what happens, let's say, like, if they don't show up? Like, what do we do? Because I'm sure he's been there, done that. Because I just want everything to go smoothly. I want everybody to show up and show out in a good way. Not in a dramatic, crazy way. We don't want none of that. It would be good if the tenant is just respectful and has moved out peacefully and, you know, didn't do anything crazy. But I guess for y'all, it would be entertaining if something crazy went down, right? Y'all would like that. I don't know. Some of y'all would like that. As far as me, I just want things to be as simple and easy as possible. So I don't want nothing crazy to go down. But I want whatever is needed for my best interest. And sometimes we don't know what that means or how that looks. So whatever it is, when I show up and whatever and however things look and are, I'm going to go with the belief system that is for my best interest. I'm going to just go with that, even if I don't understand it at the time. I'm going to go with all is well for all of us involved. For me, for the tenant, I mean, because this is the situation she created for herself, all will be well. Eviction isn't the worst thing that can happen to a body. I've been through evictions, not for me, not under my own doing. And as an adult, I've been through tricky situations that didn't lead to court order evictions, but it led to something. Like, I know one time I was living in a place with roommates, and we had our portion of the rent, which was $500. Yeah, we couldn't even, I feel like, was our portion $500 or was the rent $500? I can't even remember. Either our portion was $500 or the rent was $500 and our portion was $250. But either way it goes, we had what we needed for the rent, and the other parties did not have it, and we didn't have it either. We didn't have like the other part to make it right. And but the crazy part about it is the other guy, he went out. He was like, he going out to the ATM to get the money, and he ain't never come back. This is the landlord came to physically pick up the rent. And so he was like, oh, okay, yeah, let me go to the bank account and get it. He ain't never come back. And they ain't have it. And the crazy part, and I was young, y'all. I wasn't even 20. This was before I was even 20. This was before I was even 18, real talk. This was before I was 18. Yeah, I was like 17. I was between 16 and 17. The thing about it is the other guy, he didn't even have a job. What he used to do for a living was rob cars. He used to break into cars. He used to have that little whatever he had, that where he touched the window with it, the windows would break, the glass would break. And that's what he did for a living. Y'all, it was rough. It was crazy in them streets. But yeah, but he left. He never came back. So we had to leave. The landlord was like, okay, y'all gotta go. And we left peacefully. And then I had another situation. I wasn't 18 again. We had an apartment, and I was on the lease, all underage. Ain't no adult signed for me, but I was on the lease. They never even asked me for ID. So therefore, you know, and I think the thing about it is when you're underage, you don't even know the rules, for real. You don't even know what underage means, honestly, because I feel like underage people feel like they're grown anyway. Right? So, and I say that because even when you think about young girls who date older guys, a lot of times the girls don't realize that is not legal. That is not right. We just be thinking we got us a man, you know, because I remember being in high school. I live in a Navy town, and in high school, it was a badge of honor when them girls had Navy boyfriends, and a lot of girls had boat boys. That's what we called them. They had dudes who were in the full-grown Navy as their man, and we were sophomores, juniors, seniors in high school, and it was so normal. So I say that to say that when I signed this lease, I don't think I knew, oh, you got to be a certain age to sign a lease. No, for me it was like, oh, here's the lease, here's my information, here's whatever they asked for, and I signed it. So needless to say, that situation didn't work out either. Me and the guy who was my son's father, we broke up traumatically. It was a traumatic breakup. There was trauma involved, and I left out. It's so dysfunctional. I guess we can go into those stories later if anybody wants to know, but it's so dysfunctional, guys. Oh my gosh, it's so dysfunctional. But I left and I moved out. Me and my child, we you know, got help. We found people who would help us. Let's put it that way. And but he took on a different roommate, like a guy roommate or whatever, and they lived together for a time. But then I think the other roommate robbed him, like robbed his whole bank ATM, because but he accused me of doing it. But then the cameras came back and we saw, and it was, you know, seen who did it. And because of that, and because he stopped paying the rent there, they tried to sue us for the rent, for failure to pay rent. And go through eviction with us. However, when they try to pull me into it because I was on the lease, it wasn't, they couldn't hold me. They couldn't hold me to it because I was underage. I was a minor. And their whole reaction to that was, oh, well, you carried yourself like you wasn't. So therefore, they didn't realize I was a minor when all of this went down. So nope, I couldn't be held to that. And then there was other things too that I've been through with roommates and all of this stuff. So like I said, at the end of the day, I do know all is well regardless. All is always well. All works itself out. But you have to take the steps and do the actions to get your life and your situation on track, or back on track, or somewhere near the track. As for my tenant, I just feel like she wasn't even trying to be around the track. She was just way off somewhere in the dirt road. I don't even know. But yeah. So those are my things right there. That all works out. That all goes down. That tomorrow is the end of this chapter, so that we can move on to the next chapter. And the next chapter is going to be, what do I do now? Where do we go from here? What do I do next? What's my next step? I got to finish one step before I can get to the next step. That's another way of keeping myself from being overwhelmed. One step at a time, y'all. One step at a time.